Good evening, viewers, and wherever you're watching us from, yet again, I'm back here right down at the studios, and your one and only, of course, the African Wonder Woman. It's yet another Thursday, the 5th of September 2019, and you're watching today JNM 1000 Talk Shows. Our show focuses mainly on the social, economics, and of course humanity issues, learning and sharing as always. And thank you so much to the production team here at our Heritage Team, and we are always glad to come down here every week. Thank you so much to all the viewers who are joining us from wherever in the world that you're joining us from. And of course, the number to call in today is 0208 0046 100. Our topic today is one very special topic, which is friendship and abuse. I repeat, our topic here today is friendship and abuse. And I want us to address these issues of friendship and abuse. And I want to start off by asking about what is good friendship. What is good friendship in your belief? What is good friendship in our world today? And this topic is absolutely special because we can see our world today. And I want us to bring the issues of how many of us feel let down and why. And of course, I have this issue of what is bad friendship. Let us speak about our topic today again for those who are joining us here today, right down in London and right at the studio. We thank and appreciate the production team, our Heritage TV over here. And the number to call again is 0208 100 46100. My name is Juliet Makapila. I'm your one and only African Wonder Woman. My telephone number, of course, +4477 423 84052. I'll repeat that number again if you'd like to make a contribution to this show as well. Do not ring my mobile while I'm doing this, but text me and I will always read your comments as well. That number again is 077 423 84052 if you're calling from London. And if you're calling from abroad or texting from abroad, if you're doing that on WhatsApp, text +4477 423 84052. Many thanks to every single person who's been joining us week by week, and we really take gratitude for that. Many thanks. Go to our Facebook page, and of course like our Facebook page, which is the African Wonder Woman page as well, and of course like the Heritage TV as well, because we would like to have more viewers in these programs. The more likes we get as well, the more we know we are reaching out to you. Once again, Facebook page is African Wonder Woman, and if you're looking for African Wonder Woman, today's topic is about friendship and abuse. Yes, and what inspires me to talk about this issue today? I'm asking. And many a times I have seen so much in our community, and mainly I want to address matters of people, especially from the African and of course the Caribbean side of things, of the BAM community. And I want to take these issues and dissect them one by one. People have asked me for this topic. I think we're going to have part 1, and then perhaps we might have a session for part 2. But I want to start off with an area which is affecting many families perhaps, or is affecting many people in our world today. What is good friendship? I'm asking here today. Do men and women compare in good friendship? How is it in your town today and cities with good friendship, and how do you find those that are around you? Would you say you have 100 friends, or would you say you have 2 friends, or would you really, sometimes people have asked me questions, how many friends do you have? And I always come back to them and I say, tell me, and give me the answer. So we are looking at the issues of good friendship and what that means to us today. I also want to bring this in a way that at the end of this evening, you're going to be looking at ways to improve those if you're stuck in issues of friendship, how you can detox to certain friendships, and how you actually make room for better growth in your life. So thank you so much again. The number to call on the studio today is 020 800-460, I repeat, 020-800-46100. That's the number for the studio. Once again, the number for the studio is 020-800-46100. So our topic today resonates because when you have friends who do not support, and when you have comrades who are not able to support you, and sometimes you're sort of like floating. Do you have such friends in your life? Would you call them real friends, or how do you feel about those people around you? Are you able to speak to them and say to them, I do not like what you're doing, or I do not appreciate what you're doing, and is there a balance in what you would call a friendship? I want to challenge those kind of topics and how we relate to good friendship. Do your friends add value to your life? Do your friends or comrades support you in any way? Or would you really look around and think, actually, this person is not even able to give me knowledge, or is not able to give me a support, or is not able to give me the right direction or the sense of directions that you really want? So today's topic, for those who are joining us once again, is friendship and views right here in London. What are the signs of good relationship, and what are the signs of bad relationship? I'm asking here today at the studio. How do you feel when you have been invited in certain events, and you go in there and you feel that you're perhaps alienated, and how do you feel within those kind of environment? Would you say that the youth today have good friendships, and with all the social media growth, how is our youth, or how are our youth responding to making better friends in our world today? And I asked this question earlier on: how do men and women compare with personal friendship? Are there differences, and do men face similar matters that women have? Should we start off with our men? Let me take it back a little bit with men, and how do men operate within themselves? Am I speaking to somebody here today? Am I asking the right questions here today? Am I saying that some men also feel the sense of bad friendships, and some men are going or are undergoing some kind of matters that they feel stuck in their life and they're not able to address their needs? I'm picking up on some men here today. What is your relationships with certain individuals that you're walking around with? What is your relationship whenever you are speaking to those men, and are they making you to grow in your life, or are they adding value in your families, or how do they really uplift you and your families? Yes, I am asking these questions here on the studio today, right down here in London today. And of course, the time here in London is 6:35 p.m. on the Thursday, the 5th of September 2019. Thank you so much, those who are joining us from Kenya, Ghana, and of course United States. Many, many thanks. I can see you all. We appreciate you. So I'm talking about men and their friendship, and do they also have their own issues? Has, like, I've had sometimes people say man to man. What does man to man mean? And does man to man really necessitate to those men feeling a sense of growth within their life? Do men support each other more than women? I'm asking here today. And yes, let us dissect the kind of issues men would be facing. What is healthy friendship in men? Do men sometimes just need their own time? Do we have men's clubs, and the men that they just want to really go out and just stay in and refresh themselves and come back to their families and come in and say, yes, I learned something from this, my friend? Or what really happens in the setting of men and when men are feeling they have good friendship? I'm talking about men here today. Could men call us here today? What's your situation if you're a man here today? Do you find that sometimes you have a sense of isolation? What do men talk about when they meet? What do men come in and they think like and they want to talk to their women, perhaps if they're married or they have partners? Do they want to come and tell you so and so has added value in their life? What are men looking for when they speak about relationship? I'm asking here today. And how does that compare with women friendship as well? Does a man relationship actually improve a woman's relationship? I'm also asking that today. Would this differ, and how would that look like? I'm asking as well here today. So yes, man to man relationship in terms of good friendship. And I'm not talking about men living together. I'm talking about just going out and having good friendship. And I'm also asking the question where they go back to their families and they can speak to their wives and they can speak to their partners and say, oh yes, I learned something from this, my so-called friend. What is those friendships like? Would those men truly tell you that those friendships, the friends that they have actually impacted upon them and made them to be a better person? And that is the question I'm asking here today. Hence the topic I'm doing, the topic here, friendship and abuse. What is abuse? I want us to look at the issues of when I say abuse, what does it mean? I want us to look at the issue of spiritual, physical, and also look at the issues of just not physical but emotional abuse, and of course also financial abuse. Are men more prone to financial abuse? Sometimes you'll hear men complain that, oh, they have been financially abused by women. Is that something that commonly affects mainly the BAME community or the BME community, as we can say? So I'm looking at friendship and abuse. What is good friendship? Should men be feeling that they have been abused? Are African men especially able to talk about abuse freely in our society without feeling that they are feeling embarrassed or stigmatized in a way that they can feel very stressed or even depressed in a way that is sociable? So I'm asking these questions to be able to tackle some of the issues that we see here today. How do men interact with each other? How do women interact with each other? How do women face the matters of good friendship and bad friendship? Do we see women who are feeling very, very sometimes unable to talk amongst themselves freely, and what constitutes good relationship? As you're still thinking about those questions, I will pick up a card, and today I'm going to appreciate the Roxanne who has done these cards, and I'm going to pick up one of the cards as we think about the issues of the topic that I set out today. And the topic for today is, as I said earlier on, friendship and abuse. And I've picked up my first card, which is belonging. Oh my goodness me. So it says, the essence of belonging is not about being like everyone else. It is more to do with recognizing what is unique about you and using it to add value to any given environment. It takes many parts to make a whole. Look at your body as a keen example. Even when you have two of something, they are different, and one left and one right. I repeat, this card is very lovely for the topic that we're talking about today. It is a card that it is actually these cards were made by a wonderful coach, and her name is Roxanne M. St. Clair. I appreciate the value in you and card. And here playing right now as we discuss this topic about friendship and abuse, I thought let me pick up a card as I open up this kind of topic. And I'm reading it again to everyone who's joining in here again. Belonging, it says. The essence of belonging is not about being like everyone else. It is more to do with recognizing what is unique about you and using it to add value to any given environment. It takes many parts to make a whole. Look at your body as a keen example. Even when you have two of something, they are different, one left and one right. What a lovely card over there. And so I'm picking up this subject again in terms of enabling us to really grow, so that we look at friendship and abuse. What is bad friendship and what causes bad friendship? Many a times I want to add the issues of our youth as well, and how our youth are growing up today, because we know that our youth are going into the sense of now just sometimes just spending the whole day on their gadgets. Are our youth able to have good friends? I was asking earlier on, how are those relationships being built, and with what kind of mentorships are they guiding with? Are our youth growing with the love of good mentorships within the society? We are asking. Are they having the kind of trainings that we had years back in terms of if you come from a faith group? Are they having that kind of touch that they are having growth from good values in life, right from schooling and right from the communities that they're facing? What are the youth feeling like as we talk this topic? Can the youth come and tell you that they are really connecting very well, or are they able to have more and more gatherings within themselves so that they don't get disconnected? And I know that with Facebook, I have seen Mark Zuckerberg talking about how the millennials need to be encouraged to go out there and be talking to themselves, and also being encouraged to, as soon as they're forming friendships, they should form those friendships, and whenever they form those friendships, they should also make sure that they are living and, of course, sharing good ideas and growing well with each other. So I'm talking about good, healthy relationship over here. What are your views in men's talk? And when sometimes maybe a man comes home and maybe he's feeling frustrated, would one argue that sometimes that man has been let down by their fellow men? But I also want to look at it from a culture point of view. I'll pick up an example of a friendship, and are we looking at friendships only in certain events? Say, for example, the friends that we have, we just look at them, oh, I want my friend to come in christening, or I want my friend to come to my birthday party, or I want my friends to come just to, a sociable event. Then you think that is friendship. Once again, bringing it live here today is your one and only African Wonder Woman, and the topic here today is friendship and abuse. I'm coming back now. Let us explore women issues and how that women issues affect different women. How is your friendship when you think about certain individuals and certain women? Certain friendship valuable, or certain friendship, or some people just are looking to build those friendships? And if you're not able to build those friendships, what is stopping you from building those friendships? So I'm asking here today, here in London, what are women getting it right to add value to each other, or are some women really, really insecure in enabling other women to grow? I was watching past a church, Clinton Baruch, pastor. Sorry, I was watching Pastor Clinton. I think it's the church is called Clinton Baruch. I'll spell that Baruch, inspirational. And I was watching this pastor who was speaking about a good man. And I'll draw back to what he was talking. And when I saw that, I thought I would bring it to this program. And thank you so much to every wonderful pastor who really supports the growth of good friendships and good destiny and good vision. And he was talking about women, actually, and the sort of man that a woman should be looking for. And he quoted dreamers, dreamers, and a woman should not get married to a man who has not got a dream. And I had to smile, and I thought, that is really, really interesting. So we're looking at the connection between how women connect with certain men, and how that influences the relationship between friendship and abuse. And dreamers, and I would love to appreciate that pastor. So I come back to the women now, friendship and abuse. Let us hope that we can break the cycle of abuse. In many cases, has it impacts emotional, it impacts people financially, it impacts people on their well-being. And I want to connect now with a toxic relationship and what it means. What does toxic relationship have in your life? And are you in toxic relationship? And what is making you stay in those toxic relationship? I'm asking, is it that you're caught up in this kind of trap? And how can you get out of this kind of toxic relationship? I'm speaking on these matters today. Similarly, I want to say that if you are trapped, how can you get out of this situation? And I want to take a scripture or a biblical angle which brings in light, light this shine. And this always reminds us of good friendship and what that means really. Are certain individuals really, really respectable in terms of how they value your life? And if this kind of individuals do not value your life, are you meant to really, really glorify their way of being? And if they are not respectable in terms of how they value you as an individual, I'm asking this to both men and women, and of course everyone. I want to find out how you respond to such people. Once again, if you're joining us here today, I'd like to appreciate people joining us from United States, people joining us from different parts of United Kingdom, and of course, people who are joining us from Kenya. Asanteni sana. Asanteni means thank you very much. The number to call here on the studio is 020-846-100. So I'm asking these questions because I know that our world here today has got a lot of matters going on, and sometimes we have these kind of matters where we are relying on our friends, and we need to understand the difference between good friendship and bad friendship. What are the red flags of bad friendship? I will take a quote from Dr. Tracy Marks, who is a doctor in USA, and she explains how to recognize a toxic relationship. And I would encourage every single person to listen to Dr. Tracy Marks from United States. Many thanks for the topics that you speak about, Dr. Tracy Marks, who I've been following. I have followed for some many years, and I'll pick on just a few, but I would encourage you to see some of the red flags that come with some toxic relationship and how to recognize that. You know, toxic relationship is some behaviors that can never even change. I want to bring that to your light, and she argues this. Some people will never like you no matter what you do, and those kind of people, I suggest that today, if you're watching this program, please, and I will say to you and ring my bell there, that those kind of relationships are not even worth to be around you, because the minute you learn that, and the minute that you decide that you want to walk away from certain individuals if they are not really adding value to your life, do you have anything to really lose? I always tell people, in fact, at some stages one can only celebrate, and I like to play the drum in that, because whenever you have those kind of individuals around you, in some cases they might take so much energy from you. But somebody is asking me a question, and thank you so much for that question. Someone is asking me, I'm struggling to open to see all your questions at the same time, but I will get back to you. But someone asks me a question: how should one deal with a toxic relationship? That's the question coming all the way from Kenya. How do you deal with, that's coming from, yes, I've got two questions, and another question is coming from USA. How do you recognize what a good friend is all about? What a good question. I'm going to start off with a question from USA. How do you recognize a good relationship? A good relationship fulfills you. A good relationship adds value to your life. A good relationship allows you to smile and build one another. A good relationship is not demanding. A good relationship does not allow you to if you can't do this for me, I cannot do this, or if you don't glorify me, or you don't do this. A good relationship is subtle and allows you to actually mutually benefit in terms of how you relate to one another. So I hope I'm answering that question in terms of the question that you're asking. In terms of the other question that we've just been asked, how do you see the red flags of a bad relationship? In the context of, and this person is asking me in the context of women, bad relationship are fueled by many a times insecurity, and also I would like to add the issue of confidence. Many a times some women are not confident, and when they are not confident, what happens is they want to constantly be praised, and when they want to be praised and all that kind of stuff, in some cases, absolutely wonderful to praise them. But praise your friends for the right reason. Praise them because they have achieved something. But don't force your friends to, they must. That's not good friendship. In fact, that is emotional, a black, I would say blackmail, if I may describe it in that. But red flags for bad relationship. Red flags for bad relationship is when it is controlling. It has anger and it is controlling. It has a lot of criticism, and this kind of people will lie against somebody, and they will constantly lie so that they can feel gratification, and they feel a sense of security, or they feel that, perhaps they have got something and that invalidates you. But actually what happens is that is how they see themselves, because they're not able to penetrate through yourself. So they will have a sense of criticism, and they are very controlling. And I call it excessive insecurity. People who will blame you for all kind of things, and in fact might even drive that manipulative thoughts of theirs, and allow other people to have sarcasm at your expense. Those are people who you should be very wary about. Those kind of people who allow you to have sarcasm, and they will sit down there and they will think that what they are doing is good. That is a red flag for those insecurity women that I'm talking about. And Dr. Tracy Marks explains that such behavior resonates because they have had they resonates because of they want to be like you, and also in some cases they have very low self-esteem, and because they have very low self-esteem, they would like to think like you and to be like you. So I encourage everybody to watch Dr. Tracy Mark and what she speaks about. So if their self-esteem is low, what happens is they like to have the credibility that perhaps a person is getting, and these are some things that one needs to be aware of, I would suggest. So today I am motivated to bring the topic, of course, of friendship and abuse, and I hope I'm touching somebody's life here today. I want to pick on two different scenarios, and how you could deal with certain issues of friendships and abuse. Say, for instance, you're going out and a friend invites you out, and they say to you, "Oh, please, could we meet up at a certain place?" And you're there and you wait for them, and these people don't even call you, and whenever they call you, either they are giving you one kind of excuse, or they're giving you one kind of long story, yet you had agreed to meet up at a specific time. Let us learn to value each other's time, because whenever you are calling somebody a friend is indeed a friend, and a friend needs to be respected at that equal space so that you're able to nurture one another. But if a friend takes some people would say, I don't like using these words, but if a friend takes it for liberty, then that means that they take it for granted for who you are. So I'd like to challenge any single person that does not respect your equal time for you to look into your relationship, into your hearts here today, and talk about friendship and abuse. I'm touching someone's life here today, and as I touch someone's life here today, I want to go all the way to Ghana. And in Ghana, they're asking me about the way friendship is impacted upon country to country. Do countries have enemies? That's an interesting question. Do countries have enemies? So it reminds me, when we talk about friendship and countries, and if countries can abuse each other, we see a lot of wars in our world today. And most of sometimes the wars that are created as well resonates from friendship. Are this country at friendly terms with each other? What a good question coming from Ghana here today. And that reminds me, of course, about our issues and our friends of the EU. As I told you, I love us to be education. We love to educate ourselves. And as I speak about Ghana and the question that has just come in, asking me, can countries be of equal friends, and how do countries become friends with each other? Usually, there is some countries that have had cold wars, and you can look and read about the cold wars years ago. And in some cases, this brought very bitter and they were not friends. This country went with war with each other. But look at how many lives it costed. So I'm challenging you again. What kind of 21st century are we looking at? Can friends have? Can countries be friends? That was the question coming from Ghana, and that took me all the way back to the EU countries. So I love the EU, and I would love to see personally in this country right now, politically, we have a big matters we're talking about the single trade and how this impacts upon us. And yes, we are looking at as well how all our countries impact each other in a friendly term. How do we want to live well with each other? Do we want to be friends in this kind of mutual agreement? We're talking about here today friendship and abuse. Are we abusing each other as we look at the issues of Brexit? Is the Brexit and Brexiters matters coming upon matters of we have even become enemies because of a political grudge? I'm asking friendship and abuse. And again, I'm going to ring my bell and I'm going to pick up the little book of calm as we think about the issues of Brexit and Brexiteers. Let me pick up a page, and I acknowledge Paul Wilson here today, and the little book of calm. So let us pick up a topic, and I'll just pick up a page, and it says, oh, I don't know whether I want to read this. It makes me really laugh. But it says, make love, the relaxation that follows. Love making works on many different levels. But I'll pick up another one, and I think that's really funny as we talk about the matters of friendship. Is really, really nice. I'll pick one here. So I've picked one, and it says, practice saying no. There is only so much you can achieve before affecting your efficiency and state of mind. Only take on what you can do, then politely but firmly turn down all other requests. That's more like it, and what we're talking about here today, friendship and abuse. I repeat, with the little book of calm here, which is acknowledging the author, who is Paul Wilson, and over 2 million copies have been sold. It says, practice saying no. There is only so much you can achieve before affecting your efficiency and state of mind. Only take on what you can do, then politely but firmly turn down all other requests. And that reminds me, is that why sometimes friendship is affected? Do some friends take more than they can chew, and then they're constantly letting their friends down? So I'm asking you to review those friends and friendships. Where are you with your friends today? If you look at your life today, would you say that those people around you are impacting on your life and they are adding on your life? I want to appreciate every single person that adds my personal life. Personally, I know those beautiful friends, and I want to appreciate every one of those people that has made me smile for the last 5 years and added value in my life for the last 7-8 years. I want to say thank you so much, and I'll ring a bell for that, because with your presence, one is able to help many other people, and those people are able to also grow. So today we are talking about friendship and abuse. Once again, I appreciate Heritage TV, and many thanks for the work that you're doing to produce production. If you'd like to support his work, please do support their work. And of course, follow me as well at African Wonder Woman. And I'm on Facebook page, which is African Wonder Woman. Please subscribe to us, like our page, and continue liking. And when you see our shows as well, please help us share our talks and also the discussions that we carry on, so that we are able to help very many people. And as we continue talking about the impact of a toxic relationship, where are you at with your friends? Do your friends really become your destiny helpers? And if not, why do you think they are not your destiny helper? That is a question I'm posing to many of you today. Do your friends really support you in growth? And if they're not supporting you in growth, what do you think is happening, and why are they not supporting you in growth? Is it because they are in competition with you? And if they are in competition with you, why is it that they would want to compete with you? And how do you come out of those relationships so that you are able to allow them to have their journey and true sense of purpose? So I'm talking about how do you create emotional distance, and how do you create a space or taking a break from the so-called people who might derive or to become you. So I'm asking you here today, friendships and abuse from people. So I don't know if that I'm bringing it live here today. And as we think about that, I want to draw about the forefather story, the stories of the people of Africa, the stories that our forefathers would give us, the story of the African drum, the story that brought the joy. And as you heard about the African lovely drum, you can remember those beautiful stories that our forefathers would give us. And of course, the one and only African Wonder Woman, bringing it right down here to the power of storytelling. I want us to have good friendships in our life. Good friendship impacts upon good living. Good friendship impacts upon us being able to draw improvement, and of course economically grow our own countries. Good friendship is about giving and also adding each other's livelihood, so that you're able to support one another in a way that is brings goodness in our world today. Thank you so much for another question. Another question is coming in. What are the different kinds of abuse? And that's a very good question. I think I had tackled that earlier on. What are the different kinds of abuses? There's many types of abuses. I like to look at it like that. In my personal views, you've got emotional abuse, you've got financial abuse, you've got spiritual abuse, and physical abuse as well. And it is important to relate to all these kind of abuses and break free from it. learn to break free from this, because if you don't break free from this, you allow yourself to constantly be trapped in a way that is very, very not progressive at all. So, and it takes time sometimes. Sometimes it's important to also realize that it can take time, and never give up. I want to encourage people to have hope and come out of such trapped scenarios. How do you get detox? Somebody is asking me. How do you get detox from personally? For myself, I like the way I do. I like to relate on the issues, and I also like to relate to meditation. I love my meditation space, and thank you so much. And that gets a lovely bell, because anytime I am meditating, I love to think of freshness, and I love to glow, and I love to bring back my energy to the positivity and the light and the life that I aspire to the positivity that I know that the people who are toxic are only jealous perhaps, or they are actually wanting something that I have or whatever. So I love to bring my energy back to the goodness of what I believe is love. And love for me is respecting what our Creator created for us. And I deeply know the meaning of love is different from the meaning of like. So for me, whenever I reflect upon the issues of good friendship, I actually question myself, and I actually bring it to my inner feelings of who exactly is my friend. And I do that for many years. Actually, I do that from when I was a little girl, and I do understand the difference between mates and comrades and friends and just people you meet every day. So because I have those kind of my little circles, as I would put it, I usually get very good boundaries within certain things. And sometimes it's never always perfect, because sometimes some people will manipulate themselves into you. It's learning to say no, as the card said. So as I speak to you out there here today, I want you to glow and reflect upon your friendships and the people that are around you. I want us to think about the good people that really add value. And I remember one time my dad asked me a question, and there's something that my dad really taught me actually. And I want to acknowledge my dad and say thank you so much, Daddy, and for teaching me. In fact, I want to say thank you for teaching me to be selfish, Daddy, because I had really been giving. And when I say selfish, in a nice way, in a nice positive way, because my dad was absolutely a giver. When I say a giver, I mean gratitude was amongst his way of doing things. But there is something that he said: you must look after yourself first. And thank you, Daddy, for that. I love you to that. And he said, my daughter, so once you are looking after yourself and you're also able to give that love of friendship to other people, you're able to share yourself fairly. And there's a difference between equally and fairly. So that's another topic by another day. But I want to draw back to a story that my dad told me one day. And one day my dad took an orange, and I'm going to use my calabash this here today. So imagine you're here and your dad brings you an orange, but this one is mainly used on porridge. Yeah, so as I talk about my dad, he loved porridge. So let me bring it right down to, the African roots as well. So, yes, I do love that as well, as I'm bringing it right here, friendship and abuse. So we're talking about, imagine you've got an orange and you've got friends over here, and it's really juicy and sweet, and it's just one orange. And I remember my dad asking me a question one day. here is an orange. Will you eat it or will you share it to everybody? And I wondered, why would Dad ask me that question? And this is many years ago, so you're looking at about 12 years. I love to relate to stories as I speak to you about this topic. And so, if you are sharing this orange and you cut it into 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever pieces that you were cutting this orange, would you share half the orange to everybody? And you really love this orange and you've got your friends over there and they're all friends and you love your friends. There's nothing, you really love them, but this is your orange. So you've got one orange and your dad has given you that orange to eat. Would you eat it or would you share it to your friend? And I'm posing that question to everybody to think about. And your dad said, Juliet, I want you to eat this orange. Would you share that orange to your friends? And how would your friends feel if you didn't share that orange? How would those friends feel like? So I'm challenging people to think about that example. And as I think about that example, I want to draw back to the inner feelings that I felt at that time, the inner feelings that it brought joy to me, to think how I would want to share this orange. Would I want to share this beautiful orange to all these people that were, willing to, it's the best, it's the most beautiful, delicious orange that your papa or your daddy has given you. Remember, you don't hate your friends, you don't dislike your friends, but your friends are there and they're asking you to share that orange that your papa has given you. So I'm asking you, what is your answer to that one today? We're talking about friendship and abuse, and I'm using that to articulate good friendship. Should those friends become enemies because you refuse to share that orange that you have been given by your daddy? Should you be the person that decides, I will only share a little bit? When I say a little bit, should those friends really be upset and angry and talk and sarcasm and really create enemies? So we're talking about manipulative of friendship that sometimes grows in, because if you've got good friends should be able to appreciate that this beautiful orange that your papa and your daddy or whatever that the way you bring it in out, they should be able to. And just before I give you the answer, I will play my African drum again. And as we come to the end of this program very shortly, we're talking about real issues here. So if friends love you and you really wanted to eat this orange by yourself, they should allow you to eat that orange by yourself. They should give you and empower you so that tomorrow you can become even you're more, they give you good, healthy message. But if they want a little bit, if you give them, you just say, you know what, I just want to share this, just this little bit. They have no right to get angry. They have no right to really talk about you and backbite you and talk like, you are this horrible woman who is not sharing. This is why I'm bringing this topic to everybody here today. Some people may choose to really think you're selfish. Actually, you're not being selfish. You're just being happy and you're just being able to be yourself, and you're able to take your boundaries with people. Some people would use that and think that you are not a good person because you're not able to share. So I take this issue and I'm asking you, what sort of friends do you have around you? What sort of friendship do you have around you? What sort of people right now in your life? Where are you in your life? I'm asking you, where are you in your life? Where would you want to be tomorrow in your life? Are the people around you destiny helpers? Are the people around you giving you the sort of push that you want? Are the people around you allowing you to grow? Are the people around you making you smile and allowing you to really find favor elsewhere? Are the people around you able to direct you and signpost you to better fruitfulness, people who are able to really create economic growth upon your life? As we look into that, somebody says to me that Friday is coming up, and what am I up to for Friday? This Friday, I would like to, Saturday actually, I would like to invite people, and somebody says do something for the youth. So I'm doing something for the youth. Yeah. Yes, I'm looking, because I want our youth to find good friendship. The youth must find good friendship. That is the bell here today. Our youth must find good friendship. I want to see our youth looking for good friendship, because when our youth find good friendship, they are able to grow in peace with each other. What am I doing on Friday? I want to take this opportunity to invite people in an event that one of our friends who supports persons with disability is doing on Saturday, Abidan. Please look out for the details for this weekend, and I believe that that is an event people should come and support. He does a lot of good work in Nigeria, and his work resonates in improving the livelihoods of persons with disability. We appreciate you, Miss Abidan. I hope I have pronounced it correctly. Let me get the details for you to tell you the exact time and the exact space that he is doing this event, and I want to just appreciate him as again. He does a lot of good work with persons with disability. Let me come back to that, and I will send his details. I'm going to say that we're going to finish off here for today. Someone is asking me, how do we support persons with disability with friendship, and if people are able to relate to persons with disability and friendship? It doesn't matter what background you come from, so I will answer that to the person that is asking. Irregardless of your faith, irregardless of your disability, irregardless of whether you're a woman or whatever gender you have chosen to be, friendship and abuse is real, and we need to articulate that even persons with disability are also human beings. In certain places, people ask me that, or they will be telling me, some people were born with witches and wizards and everything and stuff like that. I want to talk about those kind of issues in another topic. So as we end our program today, I hope somebody has gone home and feeling that today is your chance to detox to certain friendship. And as you detox and ensure that you're detoxing, do not feel that it takes time, and I'm not going to tell you it does not take time. I would be sitting down here, and I want to encourage people who are in the wrong kind of relationship to look within themselves and to grow out of those kind of a relationship that I call are not worthy. And as you grow every single day, remember that the one thing that we all were born with, we were all born with one thing that is called love. Love is something that we are all born with. We choose to love people. We choose to dislike people. But in our hearts, there is one thing that we were all born with, and that the secret is love. And when you learn how to give love, and when you learn to rejoice within yourself, you become that extra special person. Stop competing with each other. Stop trying to become someone else. Let the person that, if you love somebody, you actually learn to say to them, you know what, I would love to do what you're doing. I would love to support you. I would love to see what you are all about. and that is somebody that loves you. If that person cannot even tell you what you do, it means they don't care. It means that they are not interested what you're all about. There is good friendship and bad friendship, and I was talking here today. I'm bringing people back to the sarcasm of certain persons and their sense of insecurity. Until then, I will leave you and say to you, be lovely people, hold together. And yes, somebody says, my queen, yes, I love this. That is from Ghana. It's a present from Ghana. Yes, or somebody wants me to read them another card before I go. Okay, no problem. I'm going to do that. Let's mix our card. And I hope I've been able to give you a sense of thinking there. And let us be very careful, or not even be very careful. From today henceforth, come back here next year and tell me that when you listened to this topic, it made you to go and draw your circle. And draw those circles, by the way. Start off with your immediate circle, then draw off your another circle. Another question is coming in right now. The question is on family as well. How do you if you've got bad families and good families? That's a very good question. Many thanks to that question, and again, that's coming from Ghana. Good families enable you to grow, and good families allows you to really be yourself as well. Dr. Tracy Marks explains to us that when you've got some family members that are not good, sometimes you've got to learn to live with it and grow out of it yourself. So it's a very interesting what Dr. Tracy Marks is explaining to us, and I would love you to watch her and follow her as well. As I draw to the end of this program, it's your one and only African Wonder Woman, and today is your show, of course, at JNM 1000, at JNM 1000, and I'm gonna leave you with the card that I've just picked and the card. And thank you so much to our lovely Roxanne M. St. Clair, who makes this beautiful. Myself, or you can call the Heritage Production. If you'd like to call me and you'd like to come to my program, the number to call is 077 423 84052. If you're calling me from outside the country, it's +4477 423 84052. And thank you so much to every single person who has been watching us, and until then, we love you all. We thank you for joining us, and it's a goodbye. Maintain those beautiful relationships, and see you here next week the same time, and keep watching us, keep watching the programs. Goodbye for now. Love you all. It's a goodbye from myself. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.